Hey guys, Ben with Dissent Off-Road. We want to show you our brand new 2026 F450 Platinum. We just finished this up. This is the shop tow rig, but also I use this for play. I use it for my motorcycles, my snow bikes, and then just hauling whatever we need to haul. So this thing is a complete monster. We just wrapped it up. So we've got our aluminum front bumper in the front here. We've got a come up 12,500 pound winch. We've got our Baja Designs LP4s. We've got our Baja Designs triple fog light package here. This is a steel aluminum hybrid. So we've got the main bumper is 1/4 inch aluminum. These pieces, recovery points, are all steel. Underneath for suspension, we are running a 4.5 inch Icon CD EV 4-link kit. So this is their electronic valve shock. It's controlled via the app, so we can change the compression on there, and then their 4-link kit. So that's all new 4-link control arms, bracketry in their 4.5 inch lift. The thing rides great. Now we're running a 3711.5 NITO Recon grappler, both front and back. And then we're running a 20-inch DDC shield wheel here. And then to top off the front, we've got our Rock Blocks mud flaps. So again, this is the F450 Platinum, so it comes standard with the high output 6.7 turbo diesel. We kept the factory electronic running boards. Finish it off up front here, we've got our XL80 ditch lights from Baja Designs, but really excited to show you what we've got going on in the back. We got some cool stuff back there. So I'm gonna flip the truck around, we'll show you what we got there. All right, so back here, I'm really excited to show you this. So I came across these guys, Recoil Industries. They're in British Columbia, I believe. I was searching for better ways to load my snow bikes on the flatbed. For me, having a flatbed is, the utility of a flatbed is important. I had one on my other truck. It's always tough to get your motorcycles, get your snow bikes, get your snowmobiles up top there. So I was looking for solutions there, and I came across these guys, and they got something I've never seen in the industry before, and this is their Recoil deck system. I'll show you how that works, but first, let's walk you around just some of the features here on this flatbed and this deck. So we've got some huge boxes here. You can put your gear in there. Right now I've got my recovery gear, I've got my straps, my tools are in this box. We've also got Baja Designs dome lights that I wired up in here with the button. So those work out well. You can turn those on and off. I got one of those in each door. This one they color matched for me, so I gave them the paint code from inside the door. They sprayed all of this. The match is pretty perfect. We installed the Baja S2 scene lights here on an adjustable bracket, so I can aim those. They're working on a headache rack version that I'll probably add once they have that developed. But like I said, these guys are brand new. Just came to market with these. However, Jesse over there, he's been working on this design for, I think he said, over 7 years, and it shows. They've added a lot of cool features here. So we've got their deck lights here. I've got a switch in the other door. I could turn those on. The bed-lined fenders, this is all aluminum. There's a few steel brackets and stuff, but the bed itself is all aluminum. The deck is all aluminum. They've got a lot of custom extrusions. We've got integrated steps in all four corners. Those are Line X for wear, for traction. You've got handles here to get up on the deck. So those steps are real handy. So we've got another door here. So again, we got basically the same doors on all four corners. I haven't decided what all I'm going to put in here. I was actually able to fit quite a bit in there, and then the underdeck storage, which I'll show you. Again, in the back, we've got our DDC 20-inch wheels, the dual 3711.5 NITO Recon grapplers. Let's walk around. I'll show you some of the controls back here. So inside this door, we've got our winch control, our switch for our lighting. So this will turn on the deck lights as well as the lights in the back, which also double as our reverse lights. In this door, I've got all my torque straps, all of my anchors for the L-track, store all that stuff. I've got my power tank sitting in here. We'll probably make a nice mount for that at some point. So our winch control, we can go in and out, but also I can run the wireless remote. I'll show you what that winch is for. Baja S2, they've got this cool integrated fuel door here. So I've got my diesel and my def, and just a nice quick close, that seals up. So also I want to touch back here for the suspension. So along with the Icon CD EV, we've got the Logic airbag system. So that is their dual airbags for the F450. I've got their air compressor as well as their air tank, and then you got this cool remote. So you can actually adjust it right from there. We can go up, go down, or you can do it from the phone app. So this right now, we've added, I think this deck weighs in with the extra sled deck at about, I think he said 1,500 pounds. So it does add some weight back there, but again, that has really made the ride on this F450 way smoother. So I'm pretty stoked with how it rides now. Let's show you back under here. So they do have, we got side marker lights on the Recoil deck. A ton of custom extruded parts go into this bed, which was really cool to see. Custom extrusions, custom casts. We do have provisions for the parking sensors. He's got a plug and play wire harness that plugs into the factory harness. All the lights, everything come pre-wired, which is pretty cool. They do have a provision for the camera. However, being this is the first 2026, has a little bit different camera. So we're working on the bracket for that. Right now I just have it zip tied. It was different from the 25 model year. And then we have our Agency 6 shackle block, which I'm gonna go ahead and pull out. So when you unload this deck, you do need to make sure that you don't have a hitch in here. It doesn't hurt anything, it'll just drop down and hit. But let's show you, this is kind of what I'm most excited about on this Recoil system. So we've got a little lever here. This is just a safety release. We've got our wireless remote. I'm gonna turn that on, and then you simply run this out. Before I drop it all the way down, I wanna show you up here too. This is pretty cool. So we've got storage compartment here. So this is where the winch is housed. So I don't have to load this all the way out. I can just open it up to this point and access my storage doors. I've got my regular bumper pole hitch. I've got my tire straps, everything for my trailer in there. Quite a bit of storage on each side, and that is where the winch is housed. But also what's cool about this is, I don't know if I'm gonna do it yet, but on my other truck I had a rooftop tent. I may put one on this. A lot of times when we're on the road heading to events, I'll have two trucks, I'll have the bed loaded, and we'll have to pull over somewhere, stay the night. When I had the bed all loaded down before, I really didn't have access to get into the rooftop tent. With this one, I can have everything loaded on this deck, put my steps right here, have easy access to climb right up into the rooftop tent. So we're gonna run this all the way out. This will drop all the way down to the ground, so it doesn't just go down as a ramp. And to remove this deck, it's super simple. So once it's down on the ground, I literally have one pin, and we pull that shackle block out for the winch, and the whole deck is ready to be removed. So you can have your gear loaded on here. You could have a deck set up for your work stuff. I've seen guys that are running full welding rigs back here on a deck, and then they've got all of their sleds and their toys set up on another deck, and you can swap them in and out, which is a pretty cool setup. I don't necessarily need to do it on the video, but I'll show you right here. So that's it. The deck is down. The only thing I need to do to release this is right there. We've got one pin, and that block comes out. Your deck is free. You put the winch line, coil it back up into the storage door. So with that deck off, you can see easy loading. We've got everything here. You can fit up to 3 snow bikes or 2 sleds in a snow bike, a ton of regular dirt bikes on here. I actually typically load mine from the side. I've got my case over here, so all my snow bike gear is in there. Again, when I'm not using this for work, I'm using it for play. So we've got motorcycles. All my kids ride motorcycles. This works out really well for us. But also, I can set this deck down when you're changing in and out of your gear. You've got a nice place to stand on this tread plate. This is all UHMW plastic. And then I've got, again, my Pelican case is bolted directly to that L-track. We've got L-track throughout, so tons of mounting options here. But the cool thing is this is intended to be a usable flatbed, a usable deck, without this main sled deck on here. So with that, we've got a lot of custom cast pieces here. All these rollers, Recoil has custom made, all of these guides, so you're not scraping up any paint when you're loading this. And then these extrusions, these corner extrusions, these rubber pieces, all of those are custom made. This whole profile with the L-track is custom extruded. We've got our catches for the deck, spring loaded. So when you're not using the deck up here, you can put those down. These are all magnetic. So those come out, you can stow those away in your case. I don't have it on me, but there's a little rubber cap that can go in here and plug all those holes off. We are set up for a gooseneck. So it's got the gooseneck drop-in hitch, but also I can run a fifth wheel hitch on there as well. Over here, so again, I showed you the deck lights. So they've got these, those are powered with the switch. We've got a limit switch here for the winch, so this is cool. It actually, when you pull this in, I don't have to make sure I let off of the winch controller in time. Once it's seated, this will automatically shut the winch off. All right, we'll show you. It's, again, just as simple to load this thing as it is to unload it. So I got the wireless remote. If your batteries are dead, whatever, again, we do have the switch inside. So this will show you really how that recoil spring works. And also note, we've got the deck extender on the back. So depending on the length, your sleds are run a little longer, you can extend that out so we can load. But this is the spring here, so that is gonna catch, and that's what's coiling up and keeping that tension to let this auto unload. I've seen some similar systems in the past, and even I've built some that are similar that don't, you have to actually manually pull them out. So that recoil spring really sets this one apart. So you'll see once it comes up here, I'm not even gonna let off the switch. That limit switch is gonna do it for me. Shuts off automatically. Simply drop that catch in and we're good, we're stowed. That's all you gotta do. So again, super stoked on this deck, this bed system. I hadn't seen anything like it. Normally, we do all of our manufacturing in-house. Typically, I would not buy something like this. Normally, we would build it. But once I saw this, seeing how much thought he has put into this thing, all the custom parts, the recoil system is not something easily replicated. So again, and quality's top notch. The fit, the finish, the welding, everything just looks killer. I'm super stoked on it. So check them out. All right, so throw this back in, but in closing, this is kind of out of our norm. I built this one out of necessity for what I need it for, but it was kind of a fun project. We've been in talks with Recoil about maybe offering these locally here. They don't have any distributors, not many in the States in general, but none in California, and being right near Tahoe. But if any of you guys are interested, hit us up. We are considering maybe building out some of these full-size trucks. It's a pretty fun project, so I hope you guys like it. Maybe go over some of the what I've done to the snowbike too, because maybe some of you guys are interested. All right, so this is I believe it's a 2024 TX300. I've seen a few people building these new TBI bikes into snow bikes, and this thing rips. So we're running a two-stroke performance tune on here. I'm running their MX tune with their medium compression head. We've got the timber sled. I believe this is the Riot 3 Pro. We've done some customizing here, so we do all of our powder coating, everything in-house. So we took this tunnel apart, we took this, we did it in the Husqvarna high-vis yellow, and then we took this swing arm along with our bark busters here, and we coated that in the Husqvarna blue. So that's actually the same coating that is used on the frame. Then I've got this extended range fuel tank, seat concepts, seat back here. We've got our fuel can on the back, and then I've got a giant loop dry bag that I'll put some of my extra dry gear, warm gear in when we're out riding. I'm also running a tunnel cooler under here. So that's the big thing on these two-stroke bikes in the snow, is just keeping those temps at the same for maximum performance. I'm running at about 130 to 150 right now. So that really maintains the temps well. We're running the heated bars, so we've got coolant running through. I've got a valve here to turn those on and off. Up in the front, it's still the factory air shocks, which I've got those pumped up to about max, and they actually perform pretty well. Other than that, we've made some custom engine blankets to keep the snow out of the engine, keep those temps where we want them. On these guys, on the 2-strokes, it's just a matter, again, keeping those temps regulated. They want to run pretty cold, so that's why typically I leave those blankets on all the time. But figured some of you guys might be interested in checking this thing out, so figured I'd show you. So I'll show you what we're using to tie this bikes down, and I use these on my motorcycles as well. So these bike binders are pretty sweet. They link into this L-track. You've got a nice little pin here that locks into my foot peg. This lets us, it's just an overcam system. So you pull that pin, drop it out, and that's it. So super quick, easy tie down, very high quality products. I've been running them for a while now. Plus they have these cool graphics that kind of match the bike.